What's going on, Jerome? So when I said this morning we had to get the Eberflus IKEA toilet jokes in when we could, we didn't know that it would just be mere hours. So after that debacle on Thanksgiving against the Lions, the Bears, the crooked Chicago Bears, have fired head coach Matt Eberflus. It's actually the first time in their long sordid history that they fired a head coach midseason. It's kind of interesting. Thomas Brown's going to be the interim head coach. I actually think that he's done some really good things as interim OC with Caleb Williams. Maybe he'll get a shot to be the head coach. Who really knows? But what is just quintessential Bears is the fact that Eberflus had his normal day after a game, 9 a.m. Zoom call with the media and saying, like, I'm confident that I'll be working on to San Francisco and getting ready for the game. And then it's just like, no. So that's why I love the Bears, right? So, of course, it came down to well, first off, the Bears were no call, no show in the first half against the Lions, and then they came roaring back. And then the clock management at the end. Honestly, momentum-wise, it seemed like the Bears were going to march down, score a touchdown, win the game. And it could have been a season saver, could have been a job saver, but with 33 seconds left, they just let it tick down. There's no timeouts. There's no hustle. There's just no awareness of situational football, and that comes down to coaching. And the Eberflus, the geese, this is the death photo. This is the photo that should be on the $100 bill. All right, and also just the complete breakdown of trust in the coaching staff, and Eberflus clearly lost the locker room. Quotes coming out of the Bears locker room: Caleb Williams, there wasn't any communication from the sideline. It's also on Caleb too. Like he's got to be a little bit more aware. Obviously, it's not his job to call the timeout, but he audibled. He audibled at the line. And they were lined up with about 18 seconds left, and then they just stood there. It's hilarious, man. DJ Moore, I don't know why we didn't call a timeout. Keenan Allen, I feel like we did enough as players to win the game. The old man clearly calling out coaching staff. And then Eberflus, I think we handled it the right way. Which is just great. And, of course, it's been a parallel path. Kevin O'Connell and Kwesi came aboard 2002. Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, a.k.a. the IKEA toilet, at the same time. And Poles was a finalist for the Vikings job, too. And then he just like, no, I don't want that pressure. So I'll just take the Bears job and just run them straight into the ground, even though we're taking back the North and never giving it back. We did that sweetheart trade with the Panthers that just hasn't panned out. Just like the brain trust over there is just amazing. And what's sort of been depressing, not depressing for me, but for Bears fans, is that everyone and their mom predicted that the Bears would be a low something. Clearly they were picked to finish ahead of the Vikings. I mean, some jabronis, even including Nick Wright, predicted a Super Bowl season this year with number 1 overall pick Caleb Williams. But the Bears, I mean, they started out 4-2, respect, but then they've lost 6 games in a row in the most excruciating fashion, and it's just been fantastic. I mean, it truly has been crying Jordan for the Bears. But losing on the Hail Mary to the Commies, you scored 9 points against Arizona. You scored 3 at home against the freaking Patriots, who are not good. You lose by missing a last-second field goal against the Packers. You lose against the Vikings in overtime after making a push. You lose by 3 against Detroit, just with a debacle of clock management. It was bad coaching. It was bad everything. It was just glorious. And I just love it where people forget the Bears had preseason hype akin to the Lions last season, where it's just like, oh, here come the Bears, they're the win division, they're definitely finishing better than the Vikings. And the hype had climaxed at 4-2, and then they had their bye, and then it's just And I know that we, as Vikings fans, myself included at times, like we sort of nitpick Kevin O'Connell. But overall, like Kevin O'Connell is a strong leader of men. He's a quarterback whisperer. Players want to play for him, and it's going to pay dividends long term. And also, I mean, he would have made the playoffs 3 straight years if Kirk Cousins doesn't get hurt last year, but it is what it is. But, I mean, just look at the Bears recently. All right, so Eberflus, 294 winning percentage. Matt Nagy, fake-ass Brad Childress. John Fox, inert. Mark Trestman, that was a good one. The pride of St. Louis Park. And then, they fired Lovey, even though Lovey was their most successful head coach in decades. But Just funny, man. Now, they are going to be searching for a new head coach. I just really hope and pray that Flores does not take that job. Not because I don't want to face him twice a year. I also don't want to do that too. But also, the Bears organization is just rotten from the top down. Like, ownership does not do them any favors. They're going to ruin Caleb Williams long term. So he's going to come and rehab his career with Kevin O'Connell. But I don't know, like, it's not an attractive job. It is an organization that does not spend money. They make bad decisions all over the place. Poles is probably going to be fired after, maybe not this offseason, but certainly next offseason. So there's always instability. There's always drama, and there's always just, it's just something. And you look at with the Jets with Woody Johnson, it comes down to ownership. And Bears fans know it, and they'll tell you straight up, like, the McCaskies need to sell. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. So the Bears and the Bears fans, unfortunately, are just going to suffer for years and years and years. Well, ideally, they would have extended Eberflus, selfishly as a Vikings fan, but, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Eberflus, gone. He gone as head coach of the Bears. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.